Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of HP Boost, tips from an esports physical therapist on how to have better health in gaming. Today I'm going to go over a simple but very important topic, and that is how do we hold our mouse and why it should be one of the very first things we need to consider when we have pain in the wrist, forearm, or hand, especially in the hand that we use the mouse in, which is most typically the right hand. And it's something I've worked on recently with the League of Legends player, which helped significantly to alleviate wrist pain over the course of 2 to 3 days, even while playing up to 6 hours a day. And of course, this wasn't the only change that I helped to make. Things like posture and assessment of strength and muscles along his arms were able to identify some weaknesses that were also likely a contributing factor to his pain. But the fact that this player was holding his mouse like this for such a long time led me to believe that it was the initial cause which led to the strain and then the subsequent weakness and chronic pain that he felt. So the position itself was the root cause. So the main thing that we have to consider when we hold our mouse is the position of the wrists. Right? Many, if not all, the players that I've worked with who've had pain in their wrists and forearms hold the mouse with their wrists bent, either toward the thumb, which we call radial deviation, or towards the pinky, which we call ulnar deviation. And oftentimes this can cause one side of the wrist or palm to lift up off the table and causes overuse of one of the bending muscles of the wrist when clicking. Because as you click, you actually slightly move that side of the palm down towards the table, and you do that repeatedly over time. And depending on what side you bend your wrist toward, whether it be toward your thumb or pinky, you might feel it either here or here. Two different muscles. And it also depends on whether you are a wrist or shoulder mover with the mouse. The correct way of holding the mouse is to keep it in neutral. And that means when I look at it from above, it's not bending towards the thumb or it's not bending towards the pinky. And that's in our resting position of holding our mouse. And a good way to find neutral is to line up the center of your wrist right here with the third or middle knuckle. So I'm sure many of you guys are thinking now, what about palm, fingertip, and claw grip styles? And while each style has different consequences in terms of physical stress on your hand, with the claw and fingertip grip being slightly more stressful than the palm style, I want to emphasize the difference is minimal. If you perform better with the claw or fingertip grip, it's okay to continue using it that way. This is the performance trade-off I mentioned a lot of times in my articles about ergonomics and posture. And basically it says that with the claw or fingertip grip, which is roughly the same amount of stress, we're using more muscles than the palm grip. But in some cases it gives us more control over the mouse and we can perform better. So the trade-off is we use our muscles more but we can perform better. Or if we use the palm grip, we use our muscles less and we might not be able to perform as well. In the end, the difference though is minimal, so I would say choose the mouse configuration or grip style that is most optimal for you, and pay attention to how we position our wrists when we're holding the mouse, not how we grip it. So the bottom line is that if you guys have wrist pain, first check to see if your wrist is in neutral, both side to side and front to back. And also, just another tip, remember it's not just about changing up the position of your wrist, but also including exercises to keep your hands healthy. And you guys can check out my binge-proof wrist video to learn an easy 5-minute routine you can do before and after your games to keep your hands healthy. That's it guys, catch you next time.